Welcome back, dear students. How is everything? Hope everything is going well. Shall we rewind the previous class? So let's go through the summary of the story that we went through in the previous class. Cinderella's stepsisters were getting ready to go to the ball. Cinderella begged her stepmother to allow her to go to the party along with them. But she made fun of her and restricted her to go to the party. Cinderella became very sad when she thought about her mother. Suddenly, a fairy godmother appeared in front of Cinderella and promised that she will send Cinderella to the ball. Then the fairy godmother asked Cinderella to go to the garden and to bring a pumpkin. Cinderella went immediately to the garden and brought the pumpkin. But Cinderella could not imagine how this pumpkin could help her to go to the ball. Then the fairy waved a magic wand over the pumpkin. Students, we have studied up to this. Am I right? Now, are you ready to learn the rest of the story? Okay, let's go. All of you take page number 43 and look at this last paragraph. So I'll read it and you all listen carefully. Suddenly, the pumpkin changed into a red coach. Then the fairy said, "You will travel in this coach to the palace, but we must have horses to draw it. There's a mouse trap in the backyard of your house. Bring it to me." Cinderella went out and brought the mouse trap. There were 6 mice in it. The fairy waved the magic wand over it and all the mice were turned into 6 white horses. Students, what do you understand from this paragraph? When the fairy godmother waved the magic wand over the pumpkin, it changed into a red coach. Coach means chariot. This is the picture of coach. A coach is a 4-wheeled vehicle drawn by horses. Then Fairy set Cinderella to travel in that coach to reach the palace. But Fairy said that they must have horses to draw it. Then the fairy told that there is a mouse trap in the back side of Cinderella's house. Have you ever seen the mouse trap? All of you look here. This is the picture of mouse trap. It is used to kill mice. Mice is the plural of mouse. All of you look at this picture. Here you can see 2 mice. Then the fairy asked Cinderella to bring it to her. So Cinderella went out and brought the mouse trap. There were 6 mice in that mouse trap. When fairy waved the magic wand over it, all the mice turned into 6 white horses. Students, hope you all understood this paragraph. Now, shall we go through the new words and their meanings? Coach means chariot. Here you can see the picture of coach. Mousetrap means a small device to catch and kill mice. This is the picture of mousetrap. Backyard, an area at the back of a house. You can see the picture of backyard. Now we will go to the next paragraph. Students, did you see this paragraph? So I'll read it and you all listen carefully. Looking at the coach and the horses, the fairy said, "Now we have a coach to travel in and 6 horses to draw it, but we haven't any footmen. Go again into the garden and you will find 6 lizards behind the watering pot. Bring them." When Cinderella brought the lizards, the fairy changed them into footmen. The footmen bowed at her. They wore blue and yellow clothes. Cinderella was very happy to see them. But she became sad when she looked at her clothes. "But I cannot go in these rags," she said. Now I'll explain this paragraph. Looking at the coach and the horses, the fairy said Cinderella about the need of a footman. Who is a footman? A footman is one who leads the horses. So, to get a footman, what did the fairy do? Yes, she asked Cinderella to go again to the garden and to bring her 6 lizards from behind the watering pot. So, Cinderella obeyed the fairy and she brought 6 lizards. Then, what did the fairy do? The fairy changed the 6 lizards into 6 footmen. The footmen showed respect to the fairy by bending their heads. How they dressed? Yes, they wore blue and yellow clothes. By looking at this, Cinderella became so happy, but she was sad about her dirty clothes. So Cinderella said, I cannot go in these rags. What do you mean by rags? Rags means old torn clothes. Students, did you understand this paragraph? Okay, now we will move on to the new words and their meanings. All of you listen here. Footmen means men who lead the coach. Lizard. This is the picture of lizard. Next one. Bow. Bow means to bend the head. Rags. Old torn clothes. This is the picture of rag. Students, did you understand this paragraph? Okay. Now all of you look the last paragraph in this part. All of you listen here. I'll read it for you. I'll give you wonderful clothes, the fairy said. The fairy touched Cinderella with her magic wand. Her rags changed into beautiful clothes of silk and gold. There were diamonds in her hair, and she wore 2 pretty glass shoes. Then the fairy said, You can go to the ball now. But remember, the magic ends at 12 o'clock. You must return home before that time. Students, what do you understand from this paragraph? When Cinderella became so sad about her old torn clothes, Fairy offered wonderful clothes to Cinderella. When Fairy touched Cinderella with her magic wand, her rags changed into beautiful clothes of silk and gold. Then how was Cinderella's hair decorated? Yes, very good. Her hair was decorated with diamonds. She wore 2 beautiful glass shoes. Then the fairy sent Cinderella to the party. But the fairy said Cinderella to return home before 12 o'clock because the magic would end at 12 o'clock and she would be back to her original self at that time. Now let's go through the meanings of some difficult words. Diamond. It's a precious stone. Here you can see the picture of diamond. What is the meaning of pretty? Pretty means beautiful. Students, hope you all understood this paragraph. Am I right? Students, as a concluding part, I want to ask you a question. All of you try to answer my question, okay? Some changes were occurred to some things that are mentioned in this part. Can you list out the things and the changes occurred? Students, all of you listen here. Here the pumpkin changed into a red coach. Mice, white horses. Lizards, footmen. Rags, beautiful clothes made of silk and gold. So these are the changes that occur to the things like pumpkin, mice, lizards and rats. So all of you study this very well, okay? Students, hope you all like today's class. Am I right? So today I will give you the notes. Don't forget to read the text. And we will start the next part in the next class. So we will meet in the next class. Thank you, dear children.